Hey, this is Donald the Glove Glover.
Hey, this is Danny the Poop Pooty.
This is Joe the Jupe Russo.
And there we go. Jupe. Yeah, Jupe.
Good cologne. Good cologne.
I don't know how to follow that up. This is Jake the Jake.
The steak.
Jake the
steak.
Ost.
Probably should have said
So anticlimactic.
Joe the
So-
Russo.
Yeah, Joe the Roo.
I
Oh,
totally-
yeah, the Roo. I like
think I
that.
fucked up the
Anyway, we're signing off.
concept. So this is competitive wine tasting. This
Oh, yeah,
is
Shirley's pregnant in this. I totally forgot. Yeah.
I think it's fourth episode before the end or fifth episode before the end. When the script came in a few days prior to the table read, I think at this point, this episode was sort of getting lost in the shuffle a little bit with, we had the flashback episode was coming up, which was really complicated to produce.
Yeah.
And then we had the paintball episodes. So sort of, big stuff on the horizon. And conceptually, this was more of a traditional community episode, a little closer in spirit to season one. And there were two storylines in it. And it felt really traditional just in terms of what we had done so far in the season up to this point. And I think Dan was really feeling that too, and he added the storyline with Abed and Jabolowski, the Who's the Boss storyline, just to put a little bit of a left turn into the show, or give it a little bit of quirk.
Yeah. Who indeed is one of my favorite jokes. Also in the back, it's cool because the E pluribus anus is on the brochure. Like the little anus thing. It's like our prop staff.
Yeah,
it's utterly amazing.
The props in our department. Just looking at the Who's the Boss classroom and how many
there's so many little things in it.
And covers of books.
They never stop with the jokes. That's what's great. Like no one's. I guess if you stop it, you might notice it, but the jokes are in there. Like they're little tiny jokes.
Yeah, some of the funniest background jokes in the show come from the prop department.
I watched these episodes 40, 50 times, and there's still tons of things that come up on Reddit or on on the internet that people are pausing, and I'm going, what the heck is that?
So everybody knows Jake is the producer on the show. He literally runs the entire post department of Community. And every episode gets finished through Jake, from scoring to ADR to editing to final completion and delivery of the episodes. So we can maybe segue into a couple of good post stories here, Jake, and maybe talk about the process a little bit.
Rousing post production.
So for all of you post junkies out there,
fine.
Here comes the Oz.
Here comes the Oz. The steak.
I've been doing this for a little while, and my father still thinks that we shoot the thing 2 days before it airs, and we just film it and put it on the air.
Typically, every episode takes about 5 days. We table read the script about 3 or 4 days before we shoot, if we're lucky. Or it could be up to table reading on a Friday if we're in a jam before we start shooting on Monday, which gives everybody the weekend to prep. And then typically, Jake, what do we have about?
The editor gets about an additional week and a half after we wrap to put together a cut, an assembly we call it. And it's kind of our first look at the episode altogether, trying to get it as close to the original script as possible. And then the director gets it, and the director gets a few days to work on it, get it closer to his vision of it, and it goes from there into the producer's hands. Typically, Dan or one of the writers that Dan appoints from the writers' room comes over and starts shaping it. And if there's anything that's script problems sometimes, or just you see it brought to life, and you see that there's things that need to change, or some things that need to be cut out or restructured. That's where that process happens. And once we get it to lock, then there's a whole process that kicks in where we get the sound finished. We get the any visual effects or fixes that need to happen. Music. Ludwig takes it and scores it. We do a session where we talk about what's needed, and Ludwig brings the musical life to the show. And that's sort of the cliff notes of
typically we mix it about 24 hours before we deliver it to the network. And,
some
of the bigger episodes we we've delivered late to the network.
They have to be there like what, Wednesday, like midnight before we air on Thursday or something.
Let me think. I think the latest we've delivered is actually Thursday at around 8 in the morning. Day of air.
What episode was that?
That was the Halloween episode.
The zombie?
That was tough.
Well, that was crazy because we were trying to clear the ABBA rights all the way up to
Yeah,
Holland.
that's right.
It was a lot of ABBA music, and it was a very expensive deal. And we had to go to Sweden for the. We'd love to make a few phone calls.
Come on, you guys. We really need this.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So in the scene, we've got Corrigan, who's a genius.
Yes.
It's hilarious.
It's always fun him coming back.
There was a lot of different improvs for plop plop.
Yeah.
And no. And
I think.
yeah,
Can
that's
you
right.
remember? I mean, there's at
plop
least
plop.
6 or 7.
No. Pink stink.
Yeah.
And Pink Stink was my favorite. And they were just like, we can't get away with Pink Stink. I was like, why not?
What did we end up going with?
No.
No. And then
Well, we used Plop Plop also.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Plop plop comes out later.
Stephen Jabolowski came in to do
Yes.
this.
After
maybe
having,
4 weeks after, or
triple
maybe
bypass,
6 weeks after a triple bypass. Yeah.
Wow.
which is amazing.
These guys
My-
are hilarious.
A couple of friends of mine in Derek Comedy are good friends with him, and they just love him.
Yeah.
Like he's just like he's the coolest guy in the world. I haven't had a chance to hang with him other than on the set, and he was the nicest guy.
He was quintessentially he's the perfect guy to play this sort of aloof,
Yeah.
self-involved. Who's the boss expert?
Tony Maselli's genealogy all the way back to Caesar.
Oh, it's got to be better than wine tasting with Pierce. He refused to drink Pinot Noir because he thought it was French for black penis. And he's late. Again.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
So we have the romantic storyline
Yeah.
in this one.
One day soon, that man's gonna run out of ways
Tilting
to
towards the Troy Britta.
That's Michelle. What's her last name? Krustich? Is it Krustich? Michelle. I just actually saw her the other day. Yeah, saw her in Echo Park.
And she still hasn't recovered from working with
She-
Chevy.
No,
she's
no,
still-
she hasn't.
I think, yeah.
I think she's working on a one-woman show about it. Like she's, and Chevy would go, and she has like a red hat that she turns backwards.
I think we all felt a little uncomfortable at the end of the scene when she had to walk out and his hand.
It's like on her
Drifted
butt,
towards-
drifted towards her butt, which was like,
Remember that?
which is a total Chevy improv.
It was.
I think he asked.
He's a genius.
He asked to do
He's
it.
a genius.
He has to do it 7 or 8 times.
He did keep asking to do it, and we're like, just do it.
Yeah.
Don't make us keep having
Don't
to
make
think
us.
about
Don't
that.
make it. Don't put it on me.
And it's also it's not a group
Don't make
improv.
it- it's not a group
That's
improv,
Your
it's just-
improv.
that's your-
It's not Michelle's.
Don't make it the cruise
Can I do
issue.
this? Why
We
don't you
all-
ask her?
Yeah.
She might want to have some input.
Sloop.
There it
we
is.
all. Yeah. And just we had to watch that many times.
Many.
His hand
many
is
times.
actually bigger than her entire body.
Yeah, really.
I think
It's,
he's actually.
it's like watching the Beauty and the Beast scene in Disney, where it's like her hand goes in his hand. It's like a tiny stick in an oven mitt.
Oh yeah.
Fine. Guess I'll do it myself.
Way to go.
This is more of another episode where sort of just vanity is the driving
Yeah,
story arc.
it's really fun though. I'm sorry, like characters that are self-involved is like the funniest thing in the world.
It's
I love
very,
your
very
shirt.
similar to the billiards
Yeah.
episode, and
Yeah.
it's something he grabs onto, or the rich episode where he Jeff grabs onto something that he has to disprove to make him feel better as a person.
Troy, nothing good can come of this.
Yeah. I have to think really hard about how to defuse the situation.
No, Uncle Lucius, I don't want to play in the laundry room. My emotions.
My emotions.
Yeah.
He doesn't know hardly anything about. That's what I thought was. He hardly knows what. He saw one CSI.
Yeah.
Top 5 things of things that everyone on Community enjoys is number 2 would have to be Donald Glover having a breakdown.
Yes.
I think,
Breakdown, crying, and some vomiting.
Vomiting, some retching.
I love how serious Kevin Corrigan is.
Yeah, Kevin
all the-
Corrigan's so
There
good
it
in
is.
this. Yeah, very hard
Yes.
day on set. Very hard day on
Yes.
set.
Sometimes comedy can really work when an actor just commits to the character and they're not trying to play funny. They're trying to play what's scripted, and he's a brilliant actor, so he just commits to that character. I think what really worked in conspiracy theories is that his real commitment to the fact
to the fact that
Professor Professorson walking down the hallway like walk with me to there's no
office.
My favorite bit, it's so subtle though, it's when he goes to get a drink at the drinking fountain when he's been called out by
he just runs.
and then he just runs.
Like he thought that was gonna work. Everybody at Greendale has such an idea of how things are gonna work.
Like they don't second guess themselves at all.
They won't notice me running away from the water.
We were talking about this before in the episode where I fixed the water fountain, and he's like, I left that cake out. Yeah. It's like, you never for a second thought that somebody else might eat that cake?
Nope. And it worked out. But
it worked out.
Not because of that.
She's really cool.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
It was, that means it was very nice talking to you.
Oh, okay. If you say so.
Okay.
Okay, goodbye.
She's great. She's very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a part coming up where she's like, just like Oprah, that had me.
Oh, God.
We were all cracking up.
We were all dying.
She's like, good. And then
just goes towards her.
And then you would improv like, me? And she's like, yeah,
you. And she walks towards her. It's like,
away.
You make fun of someone, and then you go towards them. They can't really deny you. Because they're...
It's really funny.
Yeah, I just love all the Who's the Boss
This
posters
is
and
my
pictures.
favorite. I think this is my favorite, I don't know, I guess C story of the season. It's so good.
It would be a great class, by the way.
Yeah, it would be a great class.
This is a great speech by him. Again, just pure commitment to the character. He's playing it as earnestly and as straight as he possibly can. It's almost like he's in a Mammoth play talking about who's the boss.
Gordon Giddeyup, what was it? Gordon Giddeyup, the caterer?
I am not a fan. I am not a groupie. I am an academic. When I ask the question, who's the boss? It is a rhetorical question. When I ask the question beyond the question, what is a boss?
I really think
that
it's
is even more rhetorical.
But it's really also this thing of just it is so tragic because if the answer is his life is worthless,
it's over.
It's worthless.
All those graphs mean nothing.
He did nothing his entire life.
Not only is he tenured at Greendale.
That's it. He's got tenure.
Nothing. I love the fact that in the show a lot of the driving force is characters are so into one thing that they don't give a fuck about everything else. So it's tragic. It's almost like the audience is have that thing.
Yeah, please,
because you have nothing else.
It's such a short string. Everyone's life can unravel very quickly at Greendale. It's
very fast.
That was the Oprah joke.
Yeah, that was the Oprah joke. Oh, the episode where he finds out he has high cholesterol. Oh. This is his whole life has been around I'm gonna live forever. You know?
I just hope she can satisfy me. I'm like an insatiable baboon in the bedroom.
Don't say it.
There's a good visual.
Call back to Caddyshack. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't even realize.
Here's my dinner with Andre and this restaurant.
Oh yeah, right. They were both in the same restaurant. Yeah. We both like this restaurant.
We spent a lot of money building this set.
So they were we need it for twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here you go.
Oh, thanks.
That was, I don't know why, but I just always laugh at that bit with Chang eating a chicken wing.
That he brought.
Again, what character exists that can do this?
I mean, they're nuts over there.
Also, I love it when he's like, yeah, they're nuts over there.
Yeah.
Something about...
Yes. Anytime and he's so happy about this scene right here. Ted, do you see him?
Look at him. He's so staring at Pierce.
Yeah.
Weirdly. Bar tab.
Pierce, you can't just throw around a term like that.
Cornhole. Cornhole. Cornhole.
Pierce, Troy was molested.
Cool.
There's a number of improvs here as well.
Troy, we didn't know. Troy, do you need me to recommend a support group? Hey, he's not a victim. You're a survivor.
Yeah, about that. I wasn't so much molested as much as I made it up.
Double air quotes.
Yeah, the double air quotes again. It doesn't matter what you say, right?
He thinks that'll help. A lot of the stuff Troy does is stuff that he's seen other people do, and things turned out a little bit better. he doesn't really know how they work.
Doesn't understand the context.
No, he doesn't understand the context. He's like, if you put it in air quotes, people are happy.
Currently attempting a takeover of Hawthorne wipes. So please raise your glasses.
I love her comeback for this. Like, you figured out how to use Google, which is like, oh yeah, you're a lawyer, you're supposed to be smart, but all you did was type her name into Google.
Yeah.
Normal circumstances.
He's so happy too.
Impressive, Veronica Mars. You learned how to use Google.
And you learn to fight your physical desire for me.
Stick it. You suck.
It makes the whole Oprah thing so much funnier too, when she drops her.
Drops her
accent.
accent.
It's just like, oh really? You played that whole thing?
Yeah, after this
she just wanted to say she looked like Oprah. It's like, oh, I can't get mad because obviously, you know, she's foreign.
I got a number of people asking me to find the Record Scratch app after that episode.
Wow.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Make some money.
Yeah, I know.
Totally.
Is
we
there
should
one?
do one. There's gotta be.
There's gotta be one, right?
You think there's one community nerd who like makes apps and didn't think it was like money, check in the bank.
That was a sound
NBC
thing.
probably owns it.
That was a sound thing too, because at the mix, Mark was playing, our mixer, Mark Binder, was playing different record scratches, and we kept saying, no, that's not the record scratch. That okay, it's a real record scratch, but it doesn't sound like the record scratch. The funny one. Play the funny one.
Yeah, the one that is in every Kid and Play movie.
It's the Scooby-Doo.
It's the 48 hours Eddie Murphy walks into the bar record scratch.
Everyone turns.
Yeah, everyone knows it.
It turned out to be a very personal thing for everybody. You know, it's like, no, that's not what it sounds like.
Everybody's like crying around the mixer. My father was killed by a record scratch.
Oh, you're here.
What I love about this episode too is I like you and Gillian and Britta in these like artistic endeavors. More of like the dancing, going back to dancing in season 1 and this kind of thing. It's like you two exploring the arts together.
And both of us went to performing arts high schools. So like we were talking about how the floor was just like the floor, and like our teachers were just like that. Like I had so many teachers in high school. It was just like everyone have sex with your hands kind of thing. And like it feels, and you feel
we're
so
just
great.
wearing black.
We're just wearing black today. Everyone sing a song, but through your eyes.
Talk to the trees.
You know,
but don't talk.
Kevin Corrigan does it so well because he's just like you. If you buy his BS, then you feel like you're learning.
That actually is just the anthropology classroom with a bunch of black drapes in it and some theatrical seating.
Yeah,
that's how we save money on this show.
And the It's Hard to Be Jewish, Fiddler Please is also in this room.
Same thing. It's changed the lighting. So it's coming up in a minute. First of all, this joke's great. Where it's really just a Corrigan-based joke about delivery. It's sort of where he gives a speech and has an awkward pause at the end of it. This is written specifically for his delivery.
Story doesn't matter here.
But it's also a great thing about just like like your like worst actors who don't think about the story. It's just like it doesn't matter as long as I'm winning.
Yeah.
So this scene was originally scripted where Abed left the classroom and he went walking. You know, I think he was in the courtyard, and then there was a gunshot. And
then like people run, and then he just keeps going.
I just keep walking. Which when we read that at the table read, I think there was such a collective release.
That's really
it was
funny.
We all laughed so hard.
We'll never see that.
But then also we were like, that was just for us.
That was just for us. Like that was just for everyone at the table read. Because we'll never see that.
No, it's certainly bumped up against Dan, who said the logic of the character. You know, Abed would never let somebody
just for a moment.
Which is why what made it funny.
It was such a funny thing. But again, to prove this teacher, that's all he has.
Yeah, that's all he has. Like,
It brings up a good point because one of the trickiest things to do in comedy is to not allow a joke to hurt a character.
Yeah.
It's easy to come up with.
It's really easy to do.
Really funny shit, but if it sells your characters out or it mutilates your character's point of view or the reality of your character, then, you know, there's a cumulative effect where, you know, you just stop believing the characters at a certain point. Or the show just becomes a farce.
Yeah. Or you start living joke by joke.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the only remnant from it. Some people did not get that what Abed was saying was the theme song to
Yeah.
to
really?
Who's the Boss.
Yeah.
Did I read somewhere recently? I don't know if she actually saw the episode. What's her name?
Judith Light.
Judith Light. I read somewhere, but that she definitely heard about this episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who indeed?
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe you two were meant to be together.
It's coming up in a minute, but we'll talk about it. So we're running out of time. But the tag for the episode, the production of Fiddler Please, we did 8 or 9 takes, and they were all in one long Steadicam move. This was another episode that I think we shot in like 4 or 4.5 days to move really quickly to compensate for clip show or paintball or something. We're just trying to put some money back in the bank. Actually, that's what it was. We're trying to put money back in the bank so that we could prove to the studio that we could do paintball. So I did the Steadicam shot to save time, but we ended up having to do this like 9 times. So Donald was dancing for about 25 minutes, and we had to keep changing the rap because we had to get to 30 seconds, and it wasn't going to 30 seconds.
So we were like writing raps on set, these like weird things at the end. And like I was like, what else is in rap that also is in Jewish culture? I was like, oh, challah bread, challah. Like it was so rough.
Thanks everybody.